as we know, June 1st. I'm standing here along with local, state, and federal partners to discuss our collaborative efforts relative to keeping our people and our city safe during hurricane season 2024. Multiple departments are in this room, but also those that you cannot see. But it really includes all city departments and agencies, as well as, the National Weather Service, Sewage and Water Board, Entergy, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and of course our flood protection authorities. You know better than me, we are a low-lying city, low-lying community, and of course on the front lines of climate that has already changed. So our focus is on not only preparedness, but how we have to adapt to the changes in climate. And as we ready ourselves for what is anticipated this year to be a very active hurricane season, you're going to hear more about this from Ms. Nash. We just continue to take every action and every measure necessary to further mitigate any impacts to the city of New Orleans. Of course, we remain in tight coordination with the governor's office, all relevant law enforcement partners, first responding agencies, as well as our tourism and hospitality community as well. This also includes our transit service providers, hospitals, and shelters in our city. It's more important than ever, I would say, for our residents as well as our visitors, have a hurricane plan, not only for you, but also for your family. It's also a great opportunity for residents, again, to know that your neighbors are really your first responders. So know your neighbors, know what their needs are, and again, this is a great time to even help them gather supplies and work with our elderly, I would say especially. Remember to sign up for our NOAA Ready alerts that come in real time. You do so by texting all one word to 77295. Again, text NOAA Ready, all one word, to 77295. This continues to be the trusted source that the community as well as visitors rely on, and again, we get stronger and better with time. Of course, we know that next year will mark 20 years from Hurricane Katrina, and so from that, we just continue to remind ourselves that it really only takes one storm, and one that, again, every storm is a new one. It's different. And it just requires us, again, to lean on in and learn from previous storms, just like Hurricane Ida. And as you know, we've been investing in and promoting in all manners relative to whether it's solar, whether it's working with our partners like with the Lighthouses community, whether it's our Solar for All program, but in addition to Get Lit, Stay Lit, as well as Feed the Second Line. These are partners that we're continuing to work with to prepare and to respond to the needs of this community. So without further ado, you're going to hear from many of our leaders. I'm going to turn it over now to our Director of Homeland Security, Mr. Colin Arnold, and then he will take you through many directors that will brief you, and I will come back and forth, as you all know, and of course end with questions from the media to the public. Colin?
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'd like to start by thanking all the partners who are with us here today. Obviously, very full room. It really, we have to work together. These partnerships are invaluable, and I'm talking about partnerships at the local, regional, state, federal level, the private sector. We really have to come together, given the forecast for the hurricane season, which many of you have had questions about. I would echo the mayor's comment that it only takes one. We had the first most active hurricane season on record last year, and we were spared. And while we always hope that that's going to be the case, we know that it's not necessarily, it doesn't work out that way. We need to plan for rapidly intensifying storms. We know they've become more frequent. We're synchronizing efforts with our partners like never before. They predicted a hyperactive hurricane season with as many as 25 named storms, with 8 to 13 forecast to be hurricanes. The The New Orleans Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness remains committed to coordinating the city's response should a storm come our way. Since last hurricane season, some of the initiatives that we've continued on are obviously the Emergency Resource Center concept and our partnership with NOAA and so many others. The Office of Homeless Services and Strategies, the Health Department, all of our public safety officials and responders. The Emergency Resource Center, when dealing with a long-term power outage in the aftermath of the storm, is invaluable, is crucial, and we want to continue that. We'll be working with our state partners and our federal partners to ensure that when needed, that adequate backup power is installed on all the facilities that we have transfer switches on. That's up to 16 now around the city, predominantly NORD centers, rec centers, a few libraries are in there, and also the Morial Convention Center. We want to make sure that there's adequate power ready to go, because I believe that as a city, our biggest challenge right now is going to be power loss, and what we've seen from Hurricane Ida. Obviously, flooding is an issue, and potentially wind damage potentially, but taking care of our vulnerable population, the elderly, our seniors, those with pre-existing medical conditions, and those that have other types of fragility in our community, we need to do more and as much as we can to take care of them through the storm and in the aftermath of the storm. We're going to hold a city-assisted evacuation exercise in June, focusing on the registration process and transportation with our RTA partners to the parish pickup point. We continue to develop our Spanish emergency alert list. I want to really prioritize this. If you have someone who predominantly speaks Spanish, they can text ESP to 77295. They'll get the same alerts that we send out through NOAA Ready in English, but in Spanish. Really excited this year. We've got a great partnership with Entergy New Orleans. We've reviewed all of our critical facilities lists, so all of our public safety infrastructure and critical facilities in the city are prioritized for restoration. And in addition, we've added 68 independent living facilities identified by the ordinance post-Ida to be prioritized to be restored with power as soon as possible. And Entergy is going to put this in all of their operations center, all of their command rooms, everywhere that they have this list on the wall to make sure that as soon as we can get power back, that the priority goes to those critical facilities needed for life and safety for all of our residents and all of our visitors in the city, but also for those very vulnerable, typically elderly and medically compromised folks that we know had challenges during Ida. And we want to prevent that from happening again. So very appreciative of Entergy New Orleans for working with us on that. We've completed the 26th weather station, and I know I drone on about this all the time, but I'm very proud of the weather system that this city has built both for responders, for the media, and for our residents. It's all public facing. There's 26 sites now. We've included air quality monitoring on all of these because it's going to be a long, hot summer, talking separately from hurricane season. We want to make sure that the public and our responders have the most critical weather information immediately when they need it. You can visit that website at weatherwise.nola.gov. And I'm also very proud, this is something the mayor and I and our team has worked on for probably 5 years now. We will be opening a new unified public safety warehouse within 30 days. This will provide up to 65,000 square feet of critical storage for emergency supplies for all of our public safety agencies. We're going to have it all in one location. These are the things that we get out to our responders, to get out to the public during times of disaster. It will offer unparalleled supply delivery opportunities as well. It's got multiple floating loading docks. It's got you can drive an 18-wheeler into this facility. It's right next to the expressway. We're really excited about this. There'll be more details to come on it. Hopefully we can do some profile on it and really show off what we're trying to build here, which is a unified logistics operation for the city. No longer will things be kind of spread out throughout the city. We want it all in one location, and really excited about that. The biggest things that the public can do right now is stay connected. Go to ready.nola.gov. Everything I'm talking about you can find out. We know that the first 72 hours, the first 3 days are on you. Stay connected. So go to that website, register for emergency alerts. As the mayor mentioned, NOAA Ready to 77295 is the easy way. If you go to ready.noaa.gov, you can create an account, select what types of alerts you want to get. It's very intuitive. Make an evacuation plan. Have a plan for your family. Have a plan for your pets. Have a plan for your loved ones. Have a plan for those seniors that may need help, and include them in your plan, please. It's just so crucial. And then gather supplies. Whether it's a lower level storm and we're saying, hey, shelter in place, this one's going to pass through, we're going to move on. Having those supplies for 3 days in your home is critical. Medications, water, food, pet food, all of those things. And then if you have to leave, again, have your go kit. Have your go kit ready to go. And have those supplies needed to leave town for a few days, and possibly longer if things don't work out the way that we hope that they do. But please be ready. And review your flood insurance. This is the time of year, we know insurance is a hot button issue right now around the country, but particularly in Louisiana. We want to make sure that you review your flood insurance prior to this. Again, all these tips I'm giving you are at ready.noaa.gov. We are better prepared for hurricanes than we ever have been, and we need to be, because this season appears to be busy. And we want to make sure that people aren't complacent, because we're not. It's been 2 years, fortunate to not have a storm, but now is not the time to sit on our laurels. Now is our time to get ready, and you've got time, and take that time and use it wisely. Let's work together and take care of every single resident of this city. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. You want to?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and bring up tremendous partner Lauren Nash, who's a meteorologist with the National Weather Service New Orleans Baton Rouge office.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And Colin, thank you for having us. Good afternoon. We at the National Weather Service will continue to support the city of New Orleans with all their weather needs during hurricane season and during an active storm, and really whenever something else comes up, whether it's heat, air quality, smoke, fog, low water. We've had it all in the last year. Even though NOAA's outlook this season has an 85% chance of an above normal season, as you already heard, it only takes one of those storms to make it a bad season here, regardless of what that outlook is. Make sure you have a plan, listen to your local officials, and also remember you probably won't have more than a few days to make these decisions on whether or not you should stay or go. And please also remember to get your weather information from legitimate weather sources, such as a federal agency, your local officials, your local broadcast media. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren.
Next, we'll have Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick of the New Orleans Police Department.
Thank you, Colin. I just had my first opportunity to see a hurricane briefing, and I want to assure the public that what I observed was leadership among the whole team of being brilliant in the basics. And there's something unique about law enforcement, as well as my partners here, particularly in fire, my fellow law enforcement partners here, our EMS team, our 911 team, and so forth. But there's a characteristic trait, and that is when others run from harm and danger, we run to it. And we are your 1,200 member police department. We're prepared, we're ready, we will be out there in the wind, we will be out there in the rain, we will be out there in the flood. We are equipped, and we are also brilliant in the basics. And so thank you very much, and we are stronger together, as the mayor always says, and there's truth in that saying. We are a team, and we are prepared, and we're stronger together.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. We'll go to the Louisiana State Police next. We've got Major Donovan Archilli.
Thank you, Colin. Major Donovan Archilli, and I'm excited to be part of here today and part of this team to echo the sentiments of what the Chief said. It was a very thorough and down to basics meeting. Very impressive. So to be a part of that is really special here today. So just to emphasize something that all our partners are here today is just really emphasize a game plan. being prepared. That is the key word, being prepared, having a game plan. So to ensure your family is safe, get in the game, www.getagameplan.org for emergency preparedness. I'd like to also say about 511la.org for road closures and traffic information. And also our social media account, Safe Release social media account, is for additional notices and safety information. You may also report stalled vehicles and unsafe roadway conditions at star 577. That would be star LSP. And that goes to the nearest troop. Of course, in this case, it would be Troop B here in Kenner. So with that said, I'll talk about the dreaded word, contraflow. Just for historical context of this, contraflow has only been enacted twice. That was for Katrina as well as Gustav. So the last time we've done contraflow has been 17 years ago. So, but to speak of it, because we have to each and every year, of course, contraflow is a evacuation of last resort. It's a phase evacuation starting at 32 hours prior to the tropical storm force winds impacting our coast. That's when we will begin to set up contraflow. It only affects the interstate system. So please understand that you can utilize routes out of the city, other routes besides the interstate. So that's good there. And then, of course, review the contraflow map you can find on our website, www.lsp.org. And finally, check your vehicle, have reliable transportation. And your vehicle must have gas. Along the contraflow routes, a lot of the exits are closed. So, please gas up your vehicle before you leave the city, because chances are those exits that you normally would have or take are going to be closed due to the contraflow routes. So, and then lastly, please phone and let your loved ones know that you're heading out to what your destination is, because you have to let them know, of course, where you're going and where you're expected to go, because we don't want you to get lost along the evacuation. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, Superintendent of Fire, Roman Wilson.
Thank you, Colin. Good afternoon, everyone, Madam Mayor, our public safety partners, fellow department heads, and to our media and to our city at large. So what we're all talking about here is getting ready, right? Now is the time to get ready if you are not ready. Get your plan together. Right now in the fire department, we're going through our hurricane guidelines. All of our firefighters are reviewing their personal evacuation plans. And that's not just for firefighters. Everyone needs to have a plan. Colin talked about it, but I want to reinforce it because it's so important about thinking through what you are going to do if a storm comes. Put a little money on the side, right? Have a couple of extra cases of water and a stash of food. Have some money on the side in case you have to evacuate. But also think about where you're going to evacuate to if a storm comes. That's why we have these, we make all of our firefighters do a personal evacuation plan, because we don't want them to be worried about where are they going to go if they have to evacuate and they're off duty, they can get back quickly if we need them. Where is their family going to go if they are at work? We want them to be comfortable knowing where their families are going to be and if they're going to be safe, and knowing where they're going to go if they're off duty, where they can get back quickly. So everyone really needs to think through that and have that plan in place. We're conducting maintenance on all of our equipment and everything to make sure that we're ready. But again, just as the overall message from everyone here is that we're stronger together. Get your plan, be ready, so that when it comes, you're not reacting. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Next up, we have Chief Bill Selmer on from New Orleans EMS.
Thank you, Colin. Good afternoon, everyone. As you've already heard, and you will hear throughout this entire press conference, I want to stress the importance of preparedness for the upcoming hurricane season. Remember that no matter the forecast, it only takes one storm, so take time now to get ready and stay ahead of that storm or whatever storm comes our way. So please, take the time now to get prepared. Certainly you don't want to wait until the storm is bearing down on us in line at grocery stores and stores to get supplies, to do all that now, right? It's definitely important. We have also seen much shorter timelines of storms, and it's important that you take quick action when needed. So have that plan, have those supplies, be able to take that quick action when you're told to do so. New Orleans EMS works year-round to be prepared, and our department will activate all staff and resources to be ready to respond. Just want to go over a few important considerations for those especially who are medically needy or vulnerable Definitely have a medical plan and know how to access your health care if you can't see your own provider or need to evacuate. This is especially important for patients, as I said, that are medically needy and vulnerable, and that require medical treatments such as dialysis or other medical treatments, medications, whatever it might be. Talk to your healthcare provider for more information on how to access those resources if you're not able to do that at home. Have a medical kit ready with important personal and medical documents, essential items, medications, medical devices, and supplies. Have all that ready now, so all you need to do is to load it in the car or take it with you if you need to evacuate. Make sure to share your plan with trusted friends and family, and also know their plan as well. As the mayor said, know your neighbor. Know who's vulnerable in your community. Know who's vulnerable on your block, in your neighborhood. See what help they need to get ready. Right? Definitely don't leave anybody behind if you can take them with you, or find a way for them to evacuate or get resources if they need it. Certainly know your neighborhood. And then stay informed. Definitely follow the instructions of local officials. As you heard with the Weather Service, trusted information. There's a lot of information out there. Make sure you're getting it from a trusted source, and you follow the instructions of local officials. As said before, sign up for city emergency alerts by texting NOAA ready to 77295. It's a very, very useful tool. That's how we get information out to you quickly. Please sign up for that. If you need medical transportation to evacuate, make sure to arrange that ahead of time. If you need help, call 311 for assistance or more information. We also encourage you to visit ready.noaa.gov for more information, and also to create a Smart 911 profile. The Smart 911 profile is where you put your information. That's how we know who you are. That's how we know what type of ride or transportation you need if you need to evacuate. So certainly the Smart 911 profile is essential for us to know who you are and what type of help you need. With the expected above average hurricane season, it's essential that you take steps now to be ready, as I said before. If you have medical needs or need help in a disaster or evacuation, as I said, call 311, and we'll be happy to work with you individually on your plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
So we're honored with the presence today of our Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson. I wanted to ask if Sheriff would you like to close the reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor Cantrell. Thank you, Director Earl. I'm glad to be here as a partner to the city as we prepare for the 2024 H-word season. I never say the actual H-word, just we're ready for that season. We want the public to know that the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office is taking the safety of our city, staff, and those in our custody seriously. We've had internal staff meetings over the past month, and our staff is fully ready to execute. Now, as Director Arnold was discussing, due to the increased concern about rapid intensification, we will be taking a closer look at each storm earlier to determine if we need to evacuate sooner. Can't move 1,200 people just like that. So we will host a mock evacuation exercise next week. You'll all be invited to that. We will practice our plan should we have to jump into action to, again, evacuate more than 1,200 folks in custody at the Orleans Justice Center and our other housing facilities. During this exercise, our administrative and security personnel simulate the process we would initiate to evacuate residents in the event of a Category 2 storm or higher. In the event that we are forced to evacuate, residents will each be given armbands that security and IT personnel use to properly record who they are, what bus they are on, and where they will be transported ahead of a hurricane's arrival at the facility. These armbands will be an important factor to ensure our residents' safety and location as they board buses that will evacuate them to a secure location at the Louisiana Department of Corrections and out of harm's way. It's also essential to make sure that they continue to get medical and mental health care. This year, the yearly exercise that we will do next week ensures that our staff is confident and ready to perform in the unfortunate event of a dangerous storm. So we will be prepared to ensure swift and organized and timely action that centers around the safety of OPSO staff and those in our custody. Our plan includes everything associated with the housing and feeding of residents in custody, along with providing food and a safe place for our staff to be housed in the event of an evacuation. And that also includes our medical and mental health personnel. or if we have to shelter in place if a storm intensifies too quickly. Residents will not be returned to our facilities in New Orleans until all systems are properly functioning, including the return of power to all of our facilities. We have run tests on all of our diesel and gas-powered generators, massive generators, which will be activated to provide power if utility supplied power is lost. So these are essential for restoring power to both the jail and to our kitchen warehouse, which will be used to provide food for not just those in custody, but first responders or anyone else we may need to feed during loss of power in the city. So, and finally, we'll be glad to work with our partners at NOPD and to provide any deputies to the New Orleans Police Department's patrol functions once the courts are closed and, of course, our facilities are evacuated. So, with that, I just want to ensure this public that OPSO is ready and trained. Thank you.